bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.
All right, good morning, sir. Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, your name, sir? Your name?
Edward Brown, Jr.
All right, Mr. Brown, you're here today because you were arrested on charge of domestic violence battery. I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find that there is sufficient probable cause. Is there anyone here on the Brown case? Yes, it looks like there is. All righty. All right, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Could raise your right hand, please? You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes, I do.
Your name?
Barbara Monroe Brown.
All right, and you are the alleged victim in this case, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what you think I need to know. Do you have a problem with him coming back home?
No, don't have a problem with him coming home.
All right, no fear of him if he comes back to live with you? I assume you guys are living together, is that right?
Yes, we're married.
Okay, all right. And so what I would do is if I do release him, I would require that he have no hostile contact with you. That means he can't raise his voice, can't raise a fist to you, can't do anything to you in any hostile way, okay?
Thank you.
All right, is that what you would like?
Yes, that's what I would
Okay,
like.
all right, Mr. Brown, did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so it looks like he doesn't qualify for PTR.
You could qualify, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to release you with pretrial release conditions. So you won't have to actually post a bond, but there are conditions that you have to live up to, and you'll get those before you get released. And that you can return to the home, you can go back and be with your wife, but you can't have any hostile contact. That means you can't raise your voice, you can't curse at her, you can't say anything hostile or do anything hostile to her, okay? If you do, then that's a violation of your PTR. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, no guns, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, and did you want to have a public defender appointed to represent you?
Do
Do you want a lawyer?
I want a public defender?
Yeah, do you want a lawyer appointed? I'll appoint a lawyer for you if you want one.
Your Honor, I really don't think I need, but I haven't did anything.
Well, I understand that, but I'll tell you, this is punishable by up to a year in the county jail. And I never recommend anyone represent themselves, even if they are a lawyer, and I don't know that you are or are not. I'm assuming that you have not gone to law school. If it turns out that there is nothing to the charge, your lawyer can get that straightened out and have it taken care of, okay? It's better always to have someone helping you and protecting you.
I'd like to do whatever you think is.
Well, it's up to you, but I will appoint a public defender. I'm gonna appoint a lawyer for you, and then you're gonna get information about that, and you just make sure you make contact with that lawyer. They'll give you a phone number to call, okay?
Yes, sir.
All righty, good luck. Thank you, ma'am.
Great, thank you. Sir,
Yes.
Judge,
Yes,
is it okay if I speak with my husband?
sure. What do you want to say?
I expect when he comes home that we won't have this problem again.
That's absolutely correct. Do you understand that, Mr. Brown? No problems with your wife when you go home. If you do, you're gonna be back in jail. Okay?
I really didn't understand.
All right, good, put on the headphones. If he is hostile in any way, you just need to call the police. That's a violation of his conditions, okay? And he'll be back in jail, and he won't get released then.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. I appreciate it.
All righty. So, Mr. Brown, you can't be hostile to her at all. She does have some concerns about that. You need to control yourself, okay?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Your name, sir?
Malloy.
What about?
John Malloy.
All right, I'm Mr. Malloy. You're here today because you're arrested on a charge of aggravated battery, domestic violence. I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find that there's sufficient probable cause. Is there anyone here on the Malloy case? No. All right, do you have another place to go? I guess you guys were staying at a hotel, huh?
But she's back in New York. We
Okay.
were supposed to go back to New York yesterday.
If you get released, where are you going to go?
I can stay at another hotel.
Okay. If you go back to New York, you can't go back and live with her
No,
for right now.
before we had even gotten into a fight, I was gonna go back to living with my father and
Okay.
staying
That-
in my truck.
That'll work. All right. Okay, and he does qualify for PTR?
He does, yeah.
All right, I'm going to release you with pretrial release conditions. That means it's not going to require a bond,
Okay.
but you do have conditions placed on you, all right? And you'll get those conditions, so you need to make sure you live up to that. You're not to have any contact with Ms. Scuderi, and I didn't see that it had her first name. Maybe I missed it. What is her first name?
Laura, Laura.
All right, no contact with Laura Scuderi as one of your conditions. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no guns. And I assume you want to return to New York. I have no objection to returning to New York, but you've got to let the PTR people know before you go and where you're going to be, okay?
I'm allowed to go back to New York?
You can, but you have to make sure that they know where you are when you go, okay? In other words, you can't just leave. You got to have an itinerary, when are you leaving and where are you going to stay. If you're going to go live with your father, you just give him that address.
But a question, I own a trucking company, so I go in and out of state. Do I have to stay in New York at that point? Like I can't
You're going to contact, you just talk to your pretrial release officer.
just let them know I'm going?
Yeah. Okay?
Sign here?
And did you want to have a lawyer appointed or are you going to hire somebody?
I'll have time to hire a lawyer, right?
Yeah, sure.
When is the date?
At this point, the arraignment will be set once if they file the charges, so there isn't actually a date yet,
Okay,
okay? So yeah, you'll have time,
okay.
okay? All right.
I apologize. Joel Huerta refused.
All right,
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
all right, we will, this what is a felony. All right, I'll accept that. One public defender, if not previously so. And they'll waive.
Accept the bonds, the condition.
Yeah, that's a problem. Let me see that one real quick. Gotta remember which one it was, because it was yesterday. All right, I'll set bond the amount of $500 on the battery, domestic violence, $1,000 on the false imprisonment. And defendant is to not to return other than one time with law enforcement to 1425 North Econolock Trail, and to have no contact with Rachel Murray. No guns, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol.
Honor, Alan McFadden also refused.
And I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
In Mr. McFadden's case, I do find sufficient probable cause. Let me get that one up here. As to the count one kidnapping, set bond the amount of $25,000.
Your Honor,
Yep.
count one is punishable by life. The state would ask for him to be held no bond.
Sense?
Your Honor, I would ask that you use your discretion and set bond in this case.
This is the one, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I'm gonna set it at 25,000 on that. It'll be on the aggravated battery, great bodily harm, 5,000, the assault, domestic violence, 500, attempted sexual battery, 5,000, tampering with a witness, 1,000, false imprisonment, 5,000. No contact with Ariana Glass, it's Eryanna. No return to 667 West Amelia Street, apartment 407. No guns, no alcohol, no weapons, no drugs. Yeah, cross-check there. Are your name, sir?
Samuel?
Mr. Samuel, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, Mr. Samuel, you're here today because you were arrested on a trespass on property after warning case. Is this one possible to plea today? I have read the charging affidavit. We do find that there's sufficient probable cause. I think it was just like a Wawa or 7-Eleven or something, wasn't it? No, the hospital.
Yes, Your Honor, he would like to resolve, I don't know what the offer is, but he would like to accept a credit time served offer.
Okay. Mr. Samuel, so you would like to enter a plea of no contest then to the charge of trespass, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol today?
No.
Have you suffered from or been treated for any mental illness in the past?
No.
All right, now she's got a plea form. On that form, it lists the rights you're giving up, and I know you probably haven't had an opportunity to read it, so I'm going to go over the rights that are important. First of all, you're giving up the right to proceed to trial. You could require the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt at the trial. If you had an attorney appointed, which you have an attorney there with you, you would have, that attorney would have the right to question the witnesses the state would bring against you at that trial, and that you would also have the opportunity to present your own witnesses at that trial, and whether you could also testify or refuse to testify. You understand you're giving up all those rights?
Okay.
All right, and you also understand this is punishable by up to a year in the county jail to $1,000 fine, and that the entry of your plea would result in deportation if you're not a citizen. Understand all that? Yes? Okay. I do find sufficient factual basis. I will withhold adjudication. Impose time served
4 days.
with 4 days. With 4 days credit for time served. Impose court costs, $50 cost of prosecution. It's a total of $273. Mr. Samuel, could you pay that in the next year, do you think? $273, you can pay it any time in the next year. You can pay it a little at a time if you want. Can you do that? All righty. You'll be released as to this case. I'm just going to order that you not return to ORMC unless you have a valid business there. In other words, if you're sick or you're injured, it looked like you had a reason to be there, but for some reason you pulled the IV out. Yeah, you yanked it out of your arm and then wouldn't go. So you can go back there if you are in medical distress, but when they ask you to leave, if you're not there for anything anymore, you have to go. You understand that? Okay. All right. You'll be released as to this case. Thank you, sir.
But yet I still got to go back to that hospital.
You can.
They dealing with this.
You can go back as long as you have an issue. Okay.
Move on. All right, your name, sir?
Reuben Troncoso.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you were arrested on a violation of probation warrant, and I don't have the paperwork on this guy. What's the problem?
Your Honor, I believe he's only here for the FAD. At least that's what it says on my
For
face.
the what?
For his out on bond case.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were out on bond, you were arrested on a violation of probation, and I think there's no bond, and then you were also out on bond on possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia. What was he on probation for?
Carrying a concealed firearm and resisting with violence from Seminole County.
Okay.
Seminole County.
And what's the current bond on the case that the possession of cocaine? Was it 1,000?
Check, one moment.
Have any, it's not listed on my.
I think they filed the charges, possession of cocaine and drug paraphernalia, but he was out on bond for carrying a concealed firearm, possession of fentanyl, and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams.
Yeah, okay, I see that. So he's out on bond on this. Is that what they violated his probation for?
No, I got violated. I just got violated at my probation office. It was by my probation
But
officer.
was it because you got arrested on this new case?
No,
No.
no. This I already have a.
What are they alleging in your violation?
They say that I guess a firearm was found in the trunk of my car. I guess I don't know.
Well, that might explain the carrying concealed firearm charge.
No, that carrying.
That's a
concealed-
separate time.
No, carrying concealed firearm is what I'm on probation for, and for resisting with violence. And then
Maybe in Seminole County, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
I'm talking about you're out on bond now on a carrying concealed firearm, possession of fentanyl, possession of cannabis in Orange County.
yeah, and then they.
That's what we're here for right now, as to whether or not I'm gonna revoke that bond or what I'm gonna do on that. But my question is your violation that's pending in Seminole County based on the fact that you were arrested on this charge?
No,
Okay.
no, sir.
All right, I revoke these bonds. On the carrying concealed firearm, put a new bond of $5,000. And on the possession of fentanyl, possession of cannabis, $500 on each. If I put a bond on there, it's just gonna be more, okay?
Sir.
Yep.
And then the VOP for Seminole County, what is that? I have no idea because I don't even know when my next court date is or anything for that, or if they're gonna come.
They're gonna have to come get you on that. I don't have that paperwork. I don't have any of your paperwork. I just had to look up the one case. So I don't know on the violation. Is there a bond on that or is it no bond?
It's a no bond, the
Yeah, it's
violation.
no bond on the Seminole County.
But when I get to Seminole County, they could possibly
Yeah,
give me a
that's
bond?
possible, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Your Honor, on the bonds, on the out on bond,
Yep.
what were the bonds again? Because he only have the two charges now.
It's 5,000, 500, 500. I have three. There's only two?
Sir,
Yeah, the possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yeah,
That's what they filed on.
yeah, because they switched the charges,
Yeah,
and
they
then I already have a plea
charges.
offer, and I have a court date like March 29th for it with my lawyer, and then they're just
Oh,
offering
I
me,
see, okay.
like an hour drug class or something like that. It's nothing too big.
This is a different case. Okay, all right, so I'll revoke the bond on the possession of fentanyl and put a new bond of 500 and revoke the bond on the possession of cannabis, put a new bond of 500. It looks like they didn't ever. Yeah,
Possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia?
From what, this case number, what I can see is that's what they're saying they filed on. I don't,
Because there was no, like, I don't even have that possession of fentanyl charge anymore at all on my thing. It's just two charges. It's just possession of drug paraphernalia.
yes, okay, yeah, on the paraphernalia and the cocaine. This is not the same case because, hold on. All right, that's fine. Yep, 500, 500. Whatever they two are, 500.
And does
Solves
Seminole
that,
County have, like,
okay?
does Seminole County have like a certain amount of time to come get me, or is, I don't know how it works because I've been.
You have to bond on these charges now.
Yeah,
So once I bond on these charges, then they'll come and get me?
right. Then Seminole County they'll tell Seminole County you got to come get them.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All righty, thank you.
I apologize. So just for me, it's 500 on both offenses?
Yes.
Okay.
I revoked the 150 and 100, and now it's 500 and 500. Yes.
You're already in here on Seminole County.
They've already served the warrant on you. They'll contact them, once you've bonded out on our charges, they'll contact Seminole County and say, you gotta come get him now. We're holding him for you only now. You gotta come get him.
72-hour hold or something?
Something, yeah.
Your Honor, Fidel, is it Gary? He's medical.
Reset that 24 hours from his, when he gets out, within 24 hours of his release.
Your Honor, he may be in medical for a while.
Well, but he's in the hospital.
No, he's not in the hospital. It's medical.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, like restricted medical.
Okay, as to the aggravated assault with deadly weapon, set bond amount of $1,000, criminal mischief $100, and battery domestic violence by strangulation $500. No contact with, what's her name? Doesn't look like they put the name in. State, do you have the name?
I'm looking.
I think it's a Juana Luisa Palma.
Okay. And no return to 1107, wait, actually, that's not correct. I think 1107 Little Spring Hill. And again, no contact, no guns, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol.
Your Honor, you gave him a one-time return with law enforcement?
Yeah, one time with law enforcement and I'll point public defender. No hammers. That's not considered a weapon necessarily, so.
Can you give me the case number on that, Your Honor?
Yes. 2022 CF 958AO.
Thank you.
All right, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I swear.
Yes?
Yes.
Your name?
My name is Chao.
Sir, you're here today because you're arrested on a charge of battery, domestic violence by strangulation, and battery domestic violence. I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find sufficient probable cause. And you were at a hotel, right, where this allegedly happened?
Yes.
Do you have a place to stay here, or where are you going to go if you get out of jail?
My flight back home is on Wednesday.
So where is that going to?
San Diego.
Okay, so you prefer to return to San Diego?
I can get a hotel for a night and then go home.
Okay. And where is Miss Hero? Is she returned to San Diego already?
No, she is staying in my hotel room.
Is she still at the Residence Inn?
Correct.
All right, well, she's not here. All right. As to the strangulation, I'll step on, oh wait, actually, he qualifies for PTR, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to release you without requiring you to post a bond. It'll be on with PTR conditions, so there are some conditions you're going to have to live up to, but you don't have to post a bond, okay?
Okay.
I don't have a problem with you returning to San Diego. However, before you do that, you need to let the PTR officer know where you're going, where you're going to be staying when you get there. Okay? No contact at all at this point with Miss Hero. And let's see.
Your Honor,
What's that?
would it be possible for me to retrieve my belongings?
Yes, I'm going to get to that. So no contact with Hannah, Hannae, Hero. You can return to the Residence Inn one time with law enforcement, either a deputy or a police officer, to get your personal items, what you need to get. But you have to go with somebody because you're not supposed to have any contact with her. That's for your protection as well as hers. All right?
Okay.
No guns, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. Okay? Did you want a lawyer appointed, or are you going to hire one?
I will hire one.
Okay, all righty.
As far as returning to San Diego, so she moved into my apartment.
Well, that's gonna be a problem. You can't be where she is. Okay? So if she has the legal right to be there, I don't know what your situation is in San Diego. I don't know if she's actually, has she been residing there?
Yes, for the past couple.
That's a problem for you. You're gonna have to find somewhere else. You can't be with her. Now, it's possible that the judge in domestic violence may say, you guys can have non-hostile, not hostile contacts. In other words, you can have contact, just can't be hostile. If that's the case, then you can live together, but for right now, you can't do that. Okay, so you might have to find somewhere else to live there. If she's gonna return there. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I mean, if she were here and said she had no problem having contact with you, then we could do that, but otherwise, it's problematic, okay?
If she does return there, would I be able to retrieve my personal belongings?
If she what?
If she does return to San Diego, would I be able to go back to my place and retrieve my personal?
Yeah, same thing. You can get law enforcement to go to wherever she is.
Okay.
Okay?
One more question, sir.
Yep.
My lease ends at the end of February, so I have to move out before then.
Mm-hmm.
What if my court date is after that date?
My guess is that because if they file this as a felony, that it probably will be after February, chances are, because it takes a little bit of time for it to get through there. If you do that, you just keep in contact with your pretrial release officer. You've got to keep them apprised of where you are and what's going on, okay? That's the key. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you.
Just only have 13 today, and they're going to take longer than 24 yesterday. All right, ma'am, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Your name is?
Anita Torres.
All right, Ms. Torres, you're here today because you're arrested on a charge of aggravated assault with a weapon, or with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find that there's sufficient probable cause. All right, sir, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Your name?
Roberto Torres.
All right, and you are the alleged victim in the case, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you here because you want to tell me that you're still in fear of her and you don't want her to return home? Or are you here to tell me that you don't have fear of her being returning to home and that you would be fine with that as long as she's not hostile to you?
Yeah, I have no fear.
Okay.
I love my wife.
Where is the gun?
It's been confiscated.
Okay, so law enforcement took it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are there any other guns in the house?
No.
Okay. So you would have no problem with her returning to your, you guys live together, I assume?
Yes, sir.
So you'd have no objection or problem with her returning to your address as long as she doesn't engage in hostile conduct to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You understand that, Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Okay. That's going to be your key to the jailhouse. If you start doing hostile things to him, you can call law enforcement and you're back here. It's a violation, okay? She does not qualify?
She qualifies, yeah.
All right. All right, I'm going to release you without having to post a bond. I'm going to release you to pretrial release, okay? Now, that means although there's not a bond, there are conditions that you have to follow. You have to listen to what your pretrial officer wants you to do and make sure you do those things, okay? Most importantly, no hostile contact with Mr. Torres. None, okay? That means you can't raise your voice, can't raise a fist, can't do anything that's hostile to him. Understood? Okay. No drugs, no alcohol. I don't know if that's a problem, but I don't want it for right now. And no weapons. Okay, that gun's been forfeited. That's not forfeited, but it's been confiscated. It's in law enforcement's hand. No other guns around the house. No weapons. Don't raise any weapons up. And most importantly, no hostile contact. Okay. Did you want to have a lawyer appointed? You want a lawyer to represent you?
Yes.
All right. I'll appoint a public defender to represent you. She's going to give you information. Make sure you contact that lawyer's office. Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand, please, ma'am. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Your name?
Genesis Garcia.
All right, Ms. Garcia, you're here today because you're arrested on a charge of battery, domestic violence. I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find that there's sufficient probable cause. And this was I did have one question on this state. It appears that in looking at the charging affidavit that the actual alleged victim was the husband or her brother-in-law, the husband of her sister, Eduardo. Although the last sentence seems to indicate charges will be filed with the Office of State Attorney for battery against Priscilla. So that's just something separate? They think they may have something there? Or was it just a typo?
No.
Oh, just hold on. See what I'm saying? It's clear from the chart, from the narrative, that it really pertains to the interaction between her and Eduardo. And I do find that there is probable cause for that. And I don't know if what he meant was he's going to send that through and then you guys are going to decide whether to charge it against Priscilla or not, or maybe it was a typo. But bottom line is it's not going to be a problem for me to find probable cause, but it is something to be aware of. All right, so do you have, from reading the charging affidavit, it looks like you have been living with your sister Priscilla and her husband Eduardo, is that right?
Yes.
Now, I think your grandmother or someone is taking care of your kids?
My mom.
Your mom, that's right, the grandmother of kids. Can you go live with her?
I either have her or my other baby's grandma.
All right, so you understand,
I can't
you
go back
can't
there.
go back to that house?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so, I'll set bond in the amount, does she qualify?
We didn't interview her, Your Honor. And, also, I think the arresting officer didn't give us a telephone number for the victim. I don't know where this number came from, but I mean,
Oh, I see, yeah, it doesn't look like you had a number. Well, do you guys want me to,
you want to do bond
PT
or PTR?
yeah,
Your Honor, if you see on the second page of the face sheet, it does say there's a violation of pretrial release twice.
I have no record.
on Genesis Garcia?
Yes. Open case, Pinellas County, case 22.
That's a domestic that was on me. I didn't do it to him.
And it says violation of pretrial release ×2.
Yeah, it's, defendant is listed as the victim and the listed
Yeah, I'm the
case
victim
participant.
in that
okay.
case.
Yeah, because we would have, yeah. So that case is set for next month.
Your Honor, oh, you didn't.
It's the same people? How is it Pinellas County then?
It's my baby's father.
Okay.
When I was pregnant, he tried to kill us, so he's currently in Pinellas County.
I see what you're saying, State. It is weird how they put that in there. I mean, you could read it, I get what you're saying. That is strange. But you guys say that she is the defendant in those
Yeah, it
cases?
shows in, CCIS as it's like her open case, but I guess as they did further research, it shows that I clarified that it shows that she is the victim, actually. But it shows like, it's like her open case, though.
Okay, I'm gonna release her PTR. You can't, yep,
She's okay with the $500 bond.
she's okay with that?
Yeah, she would.
All right,
prefer
and I'll just set a $500 bond then.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, less conditions really, and to a certain extent. So it'll be a $500 bond. You're not to return to, other than, you can go one time with law enforcement to the 3795 Lake Mirage Boulevard address, okay? You can't go back there except for once. You can go with either a deputy or a police officer to get your personal items and items for your children. Apparently at DCF, I don't know if they're involved, but if you get whatever you need for yourself and your kids, okay? But you only go one time and you have to have law enforcement with you. All right, you're also not to have any contact with your sister Priscilla and your brother-in-law Eduardo, and their last name is?
Esparza and Garcia.
Okay, so no contact with them whatsoever. And you're not to have any guns or weapons or any drugs or alcohol.
I don't have.
Okay? And I'll appoint the public defender. Okay? Your name, sir? I raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the true self you got.
Yes, I do.
Yes? All right, so you're here today because you were arrested on a charge of contempt of court, violation of a domestic violence injunction. And I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find that there's sufficient probable cause. I see in there that you allege that she called you in and wanted you to come over. That doesn't, you can't do it, right? You understand? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I will, I'll set bond the amount of $500. No contact with Vanya, let's see, what's the last name? Smith. No contact with Vanya Smith. Can't return to 410. You didn't live, you were obviously weren't living there at the time, so you have no reason to go back there. You don't have any items or anything there? At 410 East South 7th Street, which is her house?
No, sir.
Okay. No return to there, no contact whatsoever with her, okay? So now you have an injunction against you saying you don't do it, and now you got me saying not to do that, okay? So you do it again, it's another violation of injunction charge, and it's also a contempt of court for me, okay? So just no contact with her, even if she calls you. Even if she calls you and begs you to come over and says she wants to talk to you, she wants to see you, you don't do it. You tell her, listen, I can't do it, all right? Because if that's what happened here, it still doesn't matter that she asked you to come. I mean, it's mitigation, but it doesn't matter, it's still a crime. Can't do it, okay? All right, did you want a lawyer appointed? You want a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, I'll appoint a public defender to represent you as well.
What's the case number, Your Honor?
This case number is 2022 MM 50 AA.
So that's it for 30 days.
And state, just to let you know, it looks like from the notes, it looks like there's a couple other cases out there that aren't served. You might want to see if you can get one of your process servers to get some of those. If they've got other cases pending against him, get him to the jail before he gets out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, your name, sir?
Romulo Rivas.
All right, sir, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
I do.
All right. Mr. Rivas, you're here today because State of Florida, you were arrested on a charge of domestic violence battery. I have reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find that there's sufficient probable cause. Do you have anywhere to go other than 14720 Westerly Drive? Whose place is that?
That is my apartment.
Yeah,
my wife's.
and Gabriela Maradiaga, that's your wife?
Yes, sir.
All right, I assume that she's still there?
Yes.
All right, do you have another place to go to stay for right now?
Not really.
Because she's not here to tell me that it's okay if you come home as long as you're not hostile. So I can't let you go back there, I can't let you have any contact with her for right now. So you got to be able to go somewhere else. Because if I release you or set a bond for you, or release your PTR, whichever one is your choice, you can't go back there for right now.
Okay.
Okay? If you have a friend or a relative or somewhere you can stay in the short term, until your lawyer can get with the state and maybe have her contact the state and say, hey, I don't have a problem with no hostile contact. All right? So you qualify for pretrial release. I'll give you that so you don't have to post a bond, but there are some pretty strict conditions on that, or I can set the bond at $500. Which one do you want?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
There's two choices. I can release you without having to post a bond, okay? But it's pretrial release. There's conditions on that. Things you got to do. Got to keep up with them. They're going to watch over you. Or you can do $500 bond, and then you just can't get in trouble. But you got to post a bond. Either $500 cash to the county, you get all your money back, or you get a bondsman and you pay him a certain percentage. Which one do you want?
PTR?
Okay, I'll release your PTR. No contact, again, as I said, with Gabriela Maradiaga, Maradiaga. No return to 14720 Westerly Drive, number 2207. You can go back there one time with law enforcement, so you call the sheriff's office or the local police there and say, hey, I need someone to go with me so I can get my personal items, clothing, toiletries, anything like that you need. You can't take TVs or furniture, stuff like that, but personal items that you may need, okay? One time. You understand that?
Yes, sir. Just
All right.
Question.
Yep.
Will I be able to see my daughter?
Do you currently, let's see, you can, but not with her, not with your wife. So if you've got somebody, a family member or something that they can set that up, okay. But you can't call your wife to say, hey, I want to see my daughter. No.
Okay.
And if someone calls for you, all they can say is that you want to try to set up something for the daughter. If they mention anything about the case, that's a violation.
Your Honor,
Okay? Yep.
DCF was called, so if you just put in abide by DCF plan. that may
Okay,
also
yeah, I did
cover
see
it.
they were called, but didn't say anything more. So if there is a plan for DCF, you got to abide by that plan, okay?
Okay.
So there should be a case officer if they were called, somebody that's involved in it. And if you can get that name, then you can contact them and find out what you need to do, okay?
Already.
All right, no alcohol, no drugs, no guns or weapons either. All righty, you're all set. Oh, did you want a public defender? You want a lawyer appointed?
Public defender. Or not?
Okay, I'll appoint a public defender. All right, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God. Yes? Your name? All right, sir, you're here today because you're arrested on a charge of battery domestic violence. I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find there's sufficient probable cause. The 4350 Medallion Drive, 2101, were you living at that address? And were you living there with Miss Mohan? So she did not live there? Is she there currently, do you know? In other words, is she staying at your place? So she has her own place? All right. Okay, I'll set, you do qualify for pretrial release, as like I told the last fellow. I'll set a bond of $500, you can go to pretrial release if you want. Pretrial release has more conditions than the $500 bond, but it doesn't cost you. Which one do you want? What's that? I can't hear you. Okay, I'll release your pretrial, through pretrial release conditions. You are not to have any contact with Ms. Yogita Mohan, Yogita, last name Mohan, Mohan. No contact at all. Okay? You can return to that house. Now, if she is there, you got to go. You can't stay there. So hopefully she has gone back to her home. Okay? If she is still staying there, then you must go and find another place because you can't be with her. All right, not to have any guns or alcohol or drugs or weapons either. All right, did you want to have an attorney appointed? You want a lawyer? No? You're going to represent yourself? This is punishable by up to a year in the county jail and up to a $1,000 fine. All right, I'll appoint a public defender for you. I raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes.
All right. Your name, sir?
Johnny Douglas Diaz.
All right, sir. Let me see. There he is. Just a second. All right, sir, you're here because you're arrested on out-of-county warrant for, looks like you failed to appear on a driving without a driver's license in Palm Beach County. The bond is set at $2,000.
Is that for here?
If you, yeah, you can post the $2,000 here, and then you got to go back to court in Palm Beach County.
Just court, not jail?
Well, I don't know. You failed to appear, so I don't know if you entered a plea and you had to do jail. Or
I
what?
don't understand, why am I in jail? They keep
Because you didn't go to court when you were supposed to, for whatever reason, right?
send a warrant,
And they set a warrant out.
so
Yeah.
now I have to wait here to go down there?
If you post the $2,000 bond, you can go.
Yes, he has
here?
another case.
Oh, wait, hold on. You got two. Where's
Just
the
wanna
other?
make sure, I'm sorry.
That's all right. No.
Information here.
Let me check the other one.
What does that mean?
What's the other one? I don't have it on here.
It was grand theft, but I thought it was.
Hang on. Yeah, it's a grand theft, also out of Palm Beach County. And there isn't any bond on that, so no, you can't.
So I can't leave.
Now, what happens is that you don't have any charges here, right?
No, he doesn't.
Doesn't look like it. So we will let Palm Beach County know that you're here. We got you. And they had to come and get you.
I'm not allowed to leave here?
Well, you will, but you will with in Palm Beach counties, with them.
When they come and get me?
Yeah. Or they hire some company to come and transport you.
Being like, I don't have to do like a month or something?
It won't be that long.
Won't be that long?
No, I don't think so.
Hopefully.
Maybe within a week,
That'll be.
possibly, yeah. Okay? And then once you get down there, they'll take you in front of a judge down there and they can whether they may set a bond for you down there.
Any way to speed it up, or anyone to call?
No,
I just have to-
COVID has made everything very difficult. Okay, good luck.
Joshua Edwards bonded.
All right. All right, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Your name? Mr. Grant, you're here for a warrant out of, let's see, where was it? Let's see. Out of Jacksonville for a charge of battery domestic violence, and there's no bond on that. Actually, no, there is, $25,000. $25,003. I have to check with my cohorts in Jacksonville. That's clearly somebody's little key to show it's their case. But it's $25,003. If you do post that bond, then you'll have to return to Jacksonville. If you can't post that bond, Jacksonville will be notified that you're here, and then they'll have to come and get you. Does he have anything else here? Grant, type Trayvon Grant. Okay, good luck. Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Your name?
Pierre.
All right, Mr. Pierre, you're here for a number of out-of-county warrants. And it looks like they are from... They just never make it clear on these things. Two charges of aggravated assault from, it looks like it's Jacksonville too. $15,003 and $15,003. That's two of them. And then you also have three more for domestic violence, battery, criminal mischief, and resisting officer without violence. The battery domestic violence has no bond. The other two charges have $5,003 for the criminal mischief. The resisting an officer without violence is $75,003. Yeah. And those are also out of Duval County. And again, the Duval County, Jacksonville will be notified and they'll come.
The 75,000 on resistance.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, ultimately, because you have no bond on the battery domestic violence, you're not, I mean, obviously, even if you had the money to bond all of these, which is more than $100,000, there's two, the ag assaults are 15 apiece. You had one for 75. Yeah, that's Jacksonville for you, I guess.
I don't know, Jan.
But there's 75 on the one, 5,000 on the one, and no bond on the battery domestic violence. It wouldn't matter. You can't bond out on some and not on the other, so you weren't gonna be able to leave anyways. Jacksonville's gonna have to come and get you, okay?
How long they take to come get us?
Well, they'll be notified right away, so they'll be notified today, and then we'll see how long it takes. It shouldn't take, hopefully, less than a week. Okay? All righty, thanks.
Honor Jetty Vincent Mollet.
All right. Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, your name?
Dave Reed.
Okay, let me get back to this list. All right, Mr. Reed, you're here on 1, 2, 3, 4 cases for violation of probation, right? Is that all he has? And on each one of those, there is no bond. Yeah, there's no bond on those, okay? Did you have a lawyer on those cases before?
Sir.
Public defender was on your case?
Sir.
All right, I'll appoint a public defender on those cases as well. So all of those violations, you'll have a public defender, okay? All righty, good luck.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.
Sure, yeah. So let's see, I won't go on this. I'll call the interpreter. Oh, no, the attorney's not on yet, so you want to do?
Good morning, this is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line, already sworn in today.
All righty, we have just one? All right. And Benedict is wearing the headset.
You can hear the interpreter, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Así es correcto.
Yes, that's correct.
Your name, sir?
Michael Hernandez.
Michael Hernandez.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, you're here today because you're arrested on several charges. I have reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find sufficient probable cause for lewd or lascivious molestation, a victim over 12, lewd and lascivious molestation where the victim is between 12 and 15, sexual battery on a child 12 to 17 by a person over 18, sexual battery on a person between 12 years and 18 years by an adult. I do find that there is sufficient factual basis for that. Now, do you have another place to go other than your current, the home that you were arrested at? You have another address or someone that you can live with?
Yo tengo la casa de mi hermano que está en Hialeah.
I have my brother's house. He's in Hialeah.
Yeah, so because if I do set a bond on any of these things, you will not be able to return to 1250 West South Street or have any contact with Veronica Hernandez, Michelle Hernandez, or Dominique Hernandez, or Natalie Hernandez. No contact
No, no hay
whatsoever.
ningún problema.
That won't be a problem.
Your Honor, the state would ask that defendant be held no bond at least on count 1, which is punishable by life. The victim was less than 12 years old.
It's not a cab sex battery though.
No, I said punishable by life. In addition, Your Honor, if you do use your discretion, the defendant has said that there's an alternative address. I would also ask that he not have access to any minors. Therefore, he would need to state whether or not there are any minors at his brother's residence.
There be any minors at your brother's home? Any children or anyone under 18?
No.
No.
Okay, as to count one, I will set bond the amount of $15,000. Count two, $10,000. Count three, $10,000. Count four, $10,000. You are not to return to that address. You're not to have contact with any of the individuals I've previously named, and you're not to reside with anyone or any or reside with any minors or any children or people under 18. Now you can return to that home one time with law enforcement to go and pick up any personal items, clothing, toiletries, things such as that, but you have to go with law enforcement. Not to have any drugs or alcohol, no guns or weapons. Do you understand all that?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, did you want to have a lawyer appointed?
Sí, por favor.
Yes, please.
All right, I will appoint a public defender to represent you.
Disgusting.
Okay.
Disgusting.
And Ibanez is Spanish, he's also Spanish. Oh, that's the one, yeah. All right, so that's it. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, Your Honor. Thank you.
Bye. So let's see if he's on here yet. Let's see, so I was call, recent.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now. You are the only participant.
All right. We'll pass him for the moment because his attorney's gonna come in. When he comes in, we'll bring Mr. Ibanez back out. So we'll need to be in here by 11:30, so let's, all right. Okay. Is that Ibanez? No. All right, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear testimony you're about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God. Yes? Does he need a Spanish interpreter? All right.
Your Honor, said he needs a Spanish translator.
All right. So can I do both at once, or should I close out this? And we'll call him back. Now, let's make sure that we don't have any more, so we don't have to.
Good morning. This is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line, already sworn in.
We are back. Apparently, we did have one more individual who speaks Spanish.
No problem, Your
He is
Honor.
wearing the headset.
One moment.
Sí, sí.
You can hear the interpreter, Your Honor.
All right, your name, sir?
Ana Manuel Pagan Santiago. Ana Manuel Pagan Santiago.
Anuel Manuel Pagan Santiago.
All right, sir, you're here for arraignment on your no registration and no valid driver's license charge. It appears that you failed to appear and were arrested on a warrant for that. Did you want to resolve those cases today?
Sí, por favor.
Is that the only thing he's got?
Yes, please.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe the offer from the state was a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and Mr. Pagan would like to enter a plea of no contest.
To both? All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. Pagan, your attorney indicates you
Sí,
wish to enter a
señoría.
plea of no contest to both the no valid driver's license and the no registration. Is that correct?
Eso es correcto.
That is correct.
All right, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol today?
No.
No.
Have you suffered from or been treated for any mental illness in the past?
Nunca.
Never.
All right, and the plea form that your attorney has next to you, you understood all the rights in that and you signed it, is that correct?
Sí.
Yes.
Now, you understand that both of these are punishable by up to a maximum of 60 days in jail, up to a $500 fine, and that the entry of your plea will result in deportation if you're not a citizen.
Sí, sí lo entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
All righty. As to the no registration, I do find sufficient factual basis. I'll accept your plea. I'll withhold adjudication. He is sentenced to time served 6 days with 6 days credit. I'll impose court costs and cost of prosecution. As to the no valid driver's license, I do find sufficient factual basis. I'll withhold adjudication. Sentenced to 6 days with 6 days credit for time served. Those sentences run concurrent with one another, and impose court costs and a $50 cost of prosecution. That's a total of $602, $301 per case. Do you think you can get that paid within the next year?
Eso es correcto.
That is correct.
All righty, you're all set. You'll be released as to those 2 cases. Thank you.
Gracias, su señoría.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Now, is that the last Spanish? As far as we know? Okay, all right. Thank you,
Call
ma'am.
us back. You're welcome, Your Honor.
Bye-bye. All right, let me get back on there with him in case he shows up.
Alan Knight is medical.
All right. Too bad we could have done him.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
I'll waive the appearance and enter plea of not guilty.
You are the only participant.
We'll set that for pretrial.
Pretrial be Division 85, February 21st at 9 o'clock in courtroom 4A.
Okay. All right, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Your name, ma'am?
Michelle Eaton.
All right, ma'am, you're here for arraignment on your battery domestic violence charge. What we'll do is enter a plea of not guilty for you. I'll set that for pretrial in Division 50.
Not guilty. Pretrial date would be February 14th at 9 o'clock in courtroom 7C.
All right, and what I'll do is, did you want to have a lawyer appointed? Would you like a public defender? Like a lawyer to represent you?
No, I don't have one yet.
Okay, would you like one?
Yes, yes.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. She's going to give you information how to make contact with them.
Tyrone Hines is medical.
All right. Do I have him? I have Bermudez as the first one. Do you have Hines?
So, Your Honor, I believe this was set for a plea. We did a transport order, but he's restricted, so I guess we'll have to reset it once he's.
Okay. So just no action?
No action.
We got a couple of those tomorrow from my division. That one might have been from my division. Name is very familiar. Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Your name, sir?
Aramis Bermudez.
All right, sir, you're here today because you were arrested for a charge of battery. I have read the charging affidavit. You find sufficient probable cause, bond set in the amount of $500. Additional condition will be that you not return to the address of 1301 North Powers Drive and have no contact with James. Name here. Christian Jr. Okay. Did you want to have a lawyer appointed? You need a lawyer?
No,
Gonna represent yourself?
no, I had a public defender, that's all I had.
Well, public defenders are lawyers, first of all.
Okay.
But second of all, was the PD previously appointed in this case? No? All right, I'll appoint a public defender for you. You do have one for sure now, okay? Thank you. Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Your name?
Phil.
All right. Mr. Boone, you're here today because you're arrested on a charge of trespass after warning. I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find sufficient probable cause on that case. See, is there an offer, and does he want to resolve it?
Can I have a moment, Your Honor? When I
Sure.
was back there, he wasn't up yet.
How am I gonna fight it? I don't have any money. I don't have any money.
Your Honor, he does qualify for, sorry. Your
Go
Honor.
ahead, I'm sorry.
He does qualify for pretrial release. We would ask for pretrial release in this case.
All right, I will release you with pretrial release conditions. You need to make sure you check in with your pretrial release officer. And did you want to have a lawyer appointed, sir? All right, I'll appoint a public defender to represent you.
Any conditions, Your Honor?
Excuse me?
Any condition?
No drugs, no alcohol. No return to, I think it was the raceway or racetrack.
What do I do? Just sign?
Yeah, and you're not to return to 7727 Lake Underhill Road, which is the hospital, unless you have actual medical condition, all right? Do not return to the Advent Hospital.
Your Honor, I would waive and just ask that he be released on pretrial release because he does qualify. And he would likely qualify for the pretrial version.
Yeah, I understand that, but I need to be able to tell him what the problem is, you know, what the situation is.
We reset it.
I'll reset it for tomorrow. Add to my workload. Alrighty. Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Your name?
Yacel Cabrera Ramos.
All right, sir, you're here today because you were arrested on a trespass to a occupied structure or dwelling. I have read the charging affidavit, and I do find there's sufficient probable cause in that case. Does this one also have an offer? It's like Circle K.
No, Your Honor, there is no offer on this case. Mr. Cabrera was arrested last week at the same location for exposing his sexual organs.
Is that currently, was he out on bond in that? Has it been charged or?
He resolved the case, it looks like, Your Honor.
Oh, really?
Quickly? I don't know if, it looks like one night, it says January 19th.
Yes.
Wow. So they must have just charged a trespass, not an exposure. Is that correct?
One moment, Your Honor, I'll double check.
All Or if you want to resolve it, you could, it'd be an adjudication and 15 days. Mm-hmm.
He would like to accept that offer, Your Honor.
All right, so I enter a plea of no contest then to the charge, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol today, sir?
No, sir.
Have you suffered from or been treated for any mental illness in the past?
No, sir.
All right, you understand that by entering your plea today, you give up your right to proceed to trial, the right to question any witnesses that may be brought to testify against you, the right to require the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, the right to bring any witnesses that you may wish to your defense, and the right to testify or refuse to testify. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand also this is punishable by up to 60 days in jail, up to a $500 fine, and that the entry of your plea may result in deportation if you're not a citizen.
Yes, sir.
All right, do find sufficient factual basis based on my review of the charging affidavit. I will sentence you to 15 days in the Orange County Jail. You do have
2 days.
2 days credit. Post court cost, $50 cost of prosecution is a total of $273. You need to pay that at any point in time within the next 12 months, within a year.
Yes, sir. 12 months, I could pay right now.
Okay, well, you can pay whenever, but this has got to get paid within 12 months. You don't have to wait 12 months, just make sure it's completed. Finally, you're ordered not to return to 1605 South Cimarron Boulevard, which is the Circle K store. If you do go back to there, and the court's made aware of it, you're subject to a contempt citation, could be sentenced up to 180 days for that contempt. Yes.
He's just signing his document. So you'll be released. Where?
Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Your name?
Terrence Lee.
Mr. Lee, you're here today because you're arrested on a new charge of criminal mischief. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find sufficient probable cause. You also are out on bond on 2 disorderly conduct charges. Does he want to try to work them out or no?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke with him in the back about the disorderly conduct. 2022 MO 30 AO and 2022 MO 14. He would like to enter a plea of no contest.
And this case is 2022 MM 559 AO. So he wants to plead to all of them?
To both, yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, for the criminal mischief, as it is a victim case, I would ask that you not resolve that case.
We got a restitution amount, so.
So, Your Honor, we would accept an offer if, I don't know what you offer. Are you offering an adjudication credit time served for the criminal mischief?
Yeah, on the disorderlies, for sure.
Okay.
Your Honor, it's an estimate of $70.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, as to the disorderly conducts, then, Mr. Lee, you wish to resolve those 2 by entering pleas of no contest, is that right? Yes? All right, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
Yes, sir.
Have you suffered from or been treated for any mental illness in the past?
Yes, sir.
Did you read over this plea form, understood the rights, and sign it on the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about any of the rights on that form?
No, sir.
You understand that both of these are punishable by up to 60 days in jail, up to a $500 fine, and that the entry of your plea would result in deportation if you're not a citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right, I do find sufficient factual basis on the disorderly conducts. I will accept your pleas. As to 2022 MO 30 AO, I will withhold adjudication and sentence to time served.
15 days on that.
Post court costs and a $10 filing reimbursement. As to 2022 MO 14 AO, I will accept your plea of withhold adjudication, sentence to time served.
2 days.
2 days with 2 days credit for time served, and a court cost and a $10 filing reimbursement. And you have to pay those. It's going to be a total of $466 within the next year. All right, I'll release him on his own recognizance as to the other charge, to give the state the opportunity to make contact with the person whose vehicle was damaged to see if they can, if it's gonna be more than $70, because it may well be. I'll appoint a public defender also on that charge.
And I will waive that appearance.
Yeah, you guys were already appointed in that case. It looks like there's already a bond of 5,000 set on that, so I'll stay that bond on Love Miller, Ebony Love Miller.
And are you just gonna put it at 5,000? Because I think on the warrant it says, or mental health PTR if qualified.
Okay, that's
You
fine.
wanna keep that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep. And all other conditions the same. Okay, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear a testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Your name?
Diamond.
Yes.
Last name?
Diamond, yes.
Last name?
Right, sir.
All right. You're here today because you were arrested on a charge of open container. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find sufficient probable cause. You're also out on ROR on another charge of open container. Is there any
Your
offer?
Honor, the offer is a withhold of adjudication, credit time served. And I was gonna see if we could do a withhold credit time served on the open container that he's out on bond for.
That's fine.
Yeah, that was the second one.
Okay, perfect. So, okay, we're gonna enter a plea of no contest and accept the offer.
All right, so that's on 2022 MO 111 AO, which is our current case, and 2022 MO 10 AO in the other open container. All right, Ms. Brunson, so your attorney indicates you want to enter pleas of no contest to both of those charges. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol today?
No, ma'am. No, sir.
Have you suffered from or been treated for any mental illness in the past?
No, sir.
All right, that plea form gives all the rights on there that you're giving up. Do you understand all those?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about anything on that form?
Sir.
You understand that both of these are punishable by up to 60 days in jail, up to a $500 fine, and that the entry of your pleas would result in deportation if you're not a citizen.
Yes.
As to 2022 MO 10 AO, I will withhold adjudication, sentence to time served,
2 days.
2 days, and impose court costs and a $10 filing reimbursement. As to 2022 MO 111 AO, I will accept your plea. I'll withhold adjudication.
He has 1 day.
Sentence to 1 day with 1 day credit for time served. Those sentences run concurrent with one another. And impose court costs, $10 filing reimbursement. And that's a total of $466. Have to have you pay that at any point in time within the next year, okay? All right, you'll be released as to these cases. All right, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yep.
Your name?
Nick.
Your name?
Nicholas.
Last name?
Cannabinoid.
There we go. Are you here today because you're arrested on a charge of open container? I have reviewed the charging affidavit and I do find a sufficient probable cause.
So you want to resolve it? Your Honor, he would like to resolve it. The offer is a withhold credit time served. And he would like to enter a plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Cabrera, is that what you want to do? Enter a plea of no contest?
Yep.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol today?
Nope.
Have you suffered from or been treated for any mental illness in the past?
None.
All right. You understand that by entering a plea or giving up the rights on that plea form? Do you have any questions about that? Do you have any questions about the rights on the plea form that you're giving up?
No.
All right. You understand that this is punishable by up to a maximum of 60 days in jail, up to a $500 fine, and that the entry of your plea would result in deportation if you're not a citizen. Understand?
Yeah.
All right. I do find sufficient factual basis. I'll withhold adjudication. You'll be sentenced to time served.
Sorry, he has 1 day.
1 day. I'll impose court costs and a $10 filing reimbursement. I think. Is this an MO case or no? Is it regular?
So they're going to come get him?
Yeah. It's total of $233. Did you want to pay for that? I'll just have you pay for that over the next year, okay? At any point in time in the next year. All right, you're released as to this case.
Yes, Your Honor. Is it Utah? Or I don't know who it is. Listen, she's about to explain it to you. Give a second.
It's out of Great Falls, Montana, but it's federal FBI.
Oh, the FBI. You have an FBI hold.
And they already been in contact that they want to come get him.
Okay. So they're going to come get you.
All right, that's 2022 112, MO 112 AO.
It's out of Great Falls, Montana, Utah.
Okay. I just want to.
I've never been there. Okay. I've never been there. No.
They'll get it straightened out.
What?
They'll get it straightened out.
I have to go to Montana?
Maybe. People save all their lives for a vacation in Montana. You might get a free trip. Think about it, you know. There's always an upside to everything. But it may, if they figure out it's not you, don't worry about it. Your name is kind of distinctive, so maybe they can figure that out.
Dr. Norman Rollerson, his behavior.
Your Honor, can we reset for tomorrow? There was an offer.
All right, we reset that for tomorrow morning, or, yeah. Tomorrow morning. All right, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Your name?
Valiant Brown.
All right, Ms. Brown, you're here today. Looks like was this a failure to appear? Yeah. Looks like you failed to appear at some point on this DUI charge. Trying to get the date on that. Looks like August 11th, thereabouts, first status hearing. And bond is set. No bond. Who did that? Hang on just a second. Let me take a quick look here. Adam said no bond?
Yes. It's out of no bond. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You failed to appear for the VOP. Now we got it. All right, so you failed to appear. There was a notice to appear for your for violating your probation. It looks like basically placed on probation in November of 2020, and they violated you in May of 2021, and you didn't do anything. And then you were set for a status conference, and you didn't show up for that. I'll set a bond in the amount of $2,000.
Your Honor, isn't this a capias?
What's that?
Isn't this a capias?
Yeah. But that's what they're here for. I mean, it's a no bond for failing to appear for a status conference. I'm gonna set a bond $2,000.
Your Honor, Ilana Christopher bonded.
All right.
Adriana Alvarez Nazario his behavior.
I have reviewed the charging affidavit in that case, and I do find that there is sufficient probable cause.
I will waive the appearance, Your Honor, if you don't mind.
All right. And in that one, I will stay the bonds as they exist. On the possession of cannabis of more than 20 grams, set a bond amount of 25,000. 100,000 count one, 150, 150, 150 for the others. And public defenders appointed if not previously. Okay. Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, your name?
Joseph Valazzo.
Mr. Alonso, are you here today because you were charged, or arrested for, off of a probable cause warrant? It's a no bond. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'll set bond in the amount of $15,000, and require you to have no guns or weapons. You're not to have any contact whatsoever with Gabriella. Let me get her last name. First of all, or with Tony Cruz and with Gabriela Cortez, no contact whatsoever. You're not to return to the address where this occurred, which is 1096 Vista Haven Circle, number 304. So no contact whatsoever. You can't go back there, okay? Also, not to possess any guns or weapons.
And that was 15,000, Your Honor?
Yeah. Judge Roach or whoever can reduce that if they want. What's that?
PD?
Yeah, public defender will be appointed. I'll appoint him a lawyer too. Your name, sir?
Ricardo Bell, sir.
All right, Mr. Bell, do we just have the possession case? It looks like there's a trafficking one too, but I didn't have the paperwork on that.
He should appear on the 22 CF 925 case. Yeah.
Okay. All right, you're here because you're arrested on, looks like 10 counts of possession of material, including sexual conduct by a child. I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and it does show that there's sufficient probable cause. Let's see what they charge. I'll stay the bonds on each count as it currently says, it's $5,000. Did you need an attorney appointed, or are you gonna hire a lawyer?
I need an attorney appointed.
All right, appoint a public defender to represent you. That's in 20, and this is in 2022 CF 925AO. Is there a trafficking case somewhere? Or this just hadn't come up yet? It's 2019, so that's probably something. I don't know.
Yeah, he was already seen on that.
Yeah, all right. I didn't look at that close enough. All right, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yeah,
All right, your name?
Brittany Campbell.
Ms. Campbell, you're here today because you're arrested on 2 charges, destruction of evidence and possession of drug paraphernalia. I have reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find sufficient probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on the destruction of evidence, and $100, I'm going to lower that bond on the possession of drug paraphernalia. Did you want to have a public defender appointed to represent you?
Yes.
I'll appoint a public defender to represent you. Thank you.
Your Honor, in this particular case, it doesn't look like she was interviewed. Is it possible for her to be interviewed for pretrial release? Because she doesn't.
If she qualifies.
Okay, could
Yeah.
she?
Yeah, if she qualifies, I don't have any objection to that. She can
Okay,
PTR. You need to interview her.
Oh, she wouldn't qualify, Your Honor.
You won't?
Well, I didn't see. I don't know. Where?
She has an open case out of Orange County and multiple Baker Acts.
I don't have an open case.
It was a direct file, so I didn't know that affects it still.
Yeah, it looks like they're still trying to serve her. Well, state, I know where she is.
I don't have an open case.
Looks like you may not even know about it. It was a file, a case that they opened against you in direct file. They just haven't ever served you. They've been looking to get you served, so you probably never even knew about it. It'll be coming. I don't, unfortunately. It's a misdemeanor. So, I do know that.
What, can you turn this over?
Hold on.
And her case was
It doesn't tell me anything, that's why I'm telling you. It hasn't been.
2022 CF 947AO.
Petty theft.
Huh?
Petty theft.
It's a petty theft.
It's a petty theft?
I already served that.
I don't know. It just says, it says return to service to, return to state to perfect service. So they're probably gonna serve you, right?
Most likely.
They're gonna serve you.
In here.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't get out.
You have a bond. You can post the bond. If not, call the number. We'll see what we can do, okay? We have a bond program that maybe they can help you get bond, all right? Okay. All right. In this particular case, I did have
Okay. Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear or testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, your name?
Let me go, Koto.
Okay. Well, this one's, there's like three different things. First of all, they charge a resisting, let me see, let me get the way that it went down. There's probably one extra resisting that doesn't need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first one that's separate, I think, actually is the same as the one that's listed on.
Which is, yep, that was the argument, Your Honor.
Yeah, there's 2022 MM 568 AO, that's just a resisting, and then there's 2022 MM 5069, looks like another one. And then there was one where they charge a resisting in addition to, I think, the felony. No, that's just grand theft, and then the theft by employee, then there's the last one, I think. 2020 MM 567, where they charge resisting and the possession of cannabis. So what I'll do is, starting with 2020 MM 567 AO, Mr. Koto, you were arrested on a charge of resisting without violence, possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. I do find sufficient probable cause. I'll set bond on the resisting at $100 and the possession at $250 on that case. The felony case, which was 2022 CF 953 AO, they charge you with theft by an employee and grand theft third degree. I do find sufficient probable cause, and I'll stay those bonds. Which are currently at $2,500 and $150. $2,500 count one theft by an employee. And then in 2022 MM 569, which I think is just a one resisting, I'll release you on your own recognizance on that because I think that it's questionable. And then on 2022 MM 568, which is another resisting charge, I will also release you on your own recognizance from that. Okay, and I'll appoint a public defender on all of the cases. What's that? Yes, yes, I did. I mean, it's there, but it's, they use the same thing every time. It's 2 or 3 times. At most, there may be 2. Certainly not 3. Where is he? He's supposed to be logged in by 11:45. All right, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear a testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes? All right, your name? Last name? All right, sir, you're here today because you're arrested on 2 charges, possession of cocaine with a weapon and carrying concealed firearm. I have reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find sufficient probable cause. Possession of cocaine with a weapon, this bond schedule is $15,000.
Yes, Your Honor, the firearm enhances it.
Your Honor, I just ask that you consider lowering that bond amount. It, he had a weapon, however, the amount he had was a very small amount in his pocket. So I just ask that you take the fact into consideration.
Yeah, I'm gonna reduce that bond to $3,500 and stay the bond of $150 on the carry and concealed firearm. Did you want to have a public defender appointed? Would you like a public defender? I'll appoint a public defender. Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear testimony I'm about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Your name?
Yes,
All right, Mr. Etienne, you're here, first of all, because in 2021 CF 9576 AO, did he fail to appear? Like you failed to appear in that case. Just one count, ultimately. Yeah. And then also you're arrested on a new, and that's in 2021 CF 9576 AO, and a new charge in 2022 CF 949 AO, you were arrested and charged with possession of MDMA, ecstasy in count 1, and possession of cannabis count 2. I did find sufficient factual probable cause on both of those. In the new case, in the 2022 bond, we set an amount of $1,000 for the count 1 and $100 for count 2. And in the failure to appear case, there is no bond on that. And I'll appoint a public defender to represent you in the new case. Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear a testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Your name, sir?
All fought.
Mr. Fott, you're here today because you're arrested on a charge of possession of synthetic cannabinoids. I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find that there's a sufficient probable cause to be $250 bond. Did you want to have a public defender appointed?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint a public defender to represent you. It looks like there's something else on here, too. What is that, fugitive from justice? Is that from
Out of
somewhere else?
Georgia.
And they do have some sort of warrant out of Georgia as well.
Yep.
Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, your name?
Luis Ibanez.
What was the name?
Luis Ibanez.
Oh.
Judge, this is Rachel Shaw. I'm here for Luis Ibanez.
There. Okay, great.
Hi, I'm handling this case for Mr. Jackson, but
Okay.
we are here.
All right, Mr. Ibanez, you're here for case number 2022 CF 394AO. And in that case, you were arrested for the charge on out of a arrest warrant for the charge of aggravating, fleeing, attempting to elude with injury or property damage and driving while license suspended or permanently revoked. Counsel, do you want to be heard?
Yes, Judge, we're just asking for a reasonable bond on this case. He does have ties to the community. He's lived in Central Florida for over 4 years and has never failed to appear.
All right, state.
No objection to bond, Your Honor.
As to the aggravated fleeing, I will set bond in the amount of $2,500, and as to count 2, driving while license suspended or revoked, I reduce that bond to $1,000.
Thank you,
Do
Judge.
not operate a motor vehicle unless you have a valid Florida driver's license as part of one of the conditions of your bond, all right? All righty.
Have Mariah Gerald, who was refusal.
Well, I was gonna give her a little relief. Let's see. On Gerald, I think that is yours.
I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, it's a failure to appear, there's no bond, so stay the bonds, no bonds. All right, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Your name, sir?
Andrew Leonard Lewis, Jr.
Mr. Lewis, you're here today because you were arrested for a charge of resisting without violence and trespass in an occupied structure or dwelling. I have reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find sufficient probable cause. Let's see. There's a bond of $500 on the resisting without violence. I'll reduce that to $100. And
You are the only participant.
Thank you. And the bond on the trespassing is $500. Did you want to have a lawyer appointed to represent you? Like a public defender?
Yes, I had signed the papers for.
All right, I will appoint a public defender. What was that?
Yeah.
Which one?
The felony, the battery one prior.
All right. All right, in 2022 CF 930AO, you're also arrested on a charge of battery with one prior. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find sufficient probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. If you do bond out, you're not to return to the racetrack at 1102 Hermit Smith Road. And you're also not to have any contact with the alleged victim, Matthew Rivera, who will be employed at that place. Don't possess any guns or weapons or any drugs or alcohol.
You said 1,000, Your Honor?
Yeah. All right, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes? Your name?
McIntyre.
I'm Mr. McIntyre here today because you're arrested on several charges. First of all, count 1, leaving the scene of an accident with a crash and with injuries. Count 2, leaving the scene of a crash with property damage. Count 3, false report to a law enforcement authority. I have reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find sufficient probable cause. Stay bond $1,000, count 1, $500, count 2, $500, count 3. Did you wish to have an attorney? All right, I'll appoint a public defender to represent you.
McFadden is a bond.
You already took that one out. Somebody did. It's gone. I remember reading it, but. Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your name?
Michelle.
Mr. Michelle, you're here today because you were arrested for a charge of criminal mischief and petty theft. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find there's sufficient probable cause for those charges. Bond set amount of $500 on each count. Did you want to have a public defender appointed to represent you? If you need a lawyer, all right, I will appoint a public defender. If you do bond out, you are not to return to, and of course, it's not going to be here. Nope. Not to return to ML Shipping at 1227 West Jefferson Street. Yeah, no contact with Louis Deo Brutus, Louisdieu, that's one name, and Brutus, last name Brutus. Okay? And appoint a public defender to represent you. Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, your name?
Tommy Mike.
All right, Mr. Mike, you're here for a couple of things. There's a new charge in 2022 CF 948AO. You're arrested at charge of possession of cocaine. I read the charging affidavit. I do find sufficient probable cause and will set bond the amount of $1,000. Yep. I'm sorry?
I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but based on what in the arrest affidavit, it appears it was Valtox. I don't know if that's another.
Well, the question I had, I mean, it says Valtox is the test. That's the short name. It's like Xerox.
Oh, okay. I thought they were saying it was a presumptive positive for Valtox.
There may, I think I read one that said that. I think there might have been one that said something along those lines. I don't know if we passed that or not, but yeah, Valtox is mentioned in two different ones that we had this afternoon. But I'll set 1,000 appoint a public defender in that. Now, he did have, you're here also on 2020 CT 620AO, which is driving while license suspended. That a failure to appear? Must be. Yeah. And bond is set in the amount of $2,000 on that. And then in 2021, CF 6694AO. This was from a probable cause warrant. Count one, fleeing and attempting to elude with lights and sirens and a moving violation involving you're driving while license suspended with 3 previous violations for driving while suspended. I do find sufficient probable cause on that, and we'll set bond in the amount of $5,000 on the fleeing attempting to elude. I'll reduce the bond on the driving while suspended to 100. And I'll appoint a public defender in cases that you don't have them yet. All right, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, your name, sir? All right, Mr. Owens. You're here in 2022 CF 939AO, and in that case, you were arrested on a probable cause warrant for the charge of throwing or shooting a deadly missile into a dwelling or structure or vehicle, and count 2 is criminal mischief. I do find sufficient that since it was a probable cause warrant, on the shooting, there's a $3,000 bond, and on the criminal mischief, $1,000. Did you want to have a public defender appointed to represent you? Do you want a lawyer appointed? Yeah, they're lawyers. I'll appoint the public defender. All right. Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes? Yes? Is that right? All right, your name, sir? Your name? Hello? Your name?
Mike and Santiago Pierre.
All right. You're here today because you're arrested on 2 charges. Oh, wait, let me make sure. Hold on. On 2022 CF 933. Hang on.
Your Honor, count 1, robbery armed with a weapon is punishable by life. I ask defendant be held, no bond.
Yeah, okay. Count 1 is robbery with a weapon. Count 2, petty theft. There is no bond on count 1, and count 2, petty theft would be $100. And he also is out on bond on a burglary of structure, petty theft in 2021 CF 14087AO, revoked that bond, no bond. And he's also, in addition, out on bond on 2021 MM 7623AO, revoked that bond, no bond. Appoint a public defender to represent you in the new case.
What was the bonds on the new case?
On the new case is 0.
And then,
Oh, on the new case, I'm sorry, 0 and 100.
Your Honor, do you have a second case, 22 CF 943?
No, they didn't.
Oh, no?
He'll be seen on that tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, Your Honor, I'm so sorry. Can you bring him back, Ms. Maxwell? Can you advise the defendant that he has an immigration hold?
Okay, yeah.
So sorry.
Also wanted to let you know that there's an immigration hold on you. So even if you bond, then they're still going to be holding you for that, okay? All righty, good luck.
For the parole, do they take him back for the parole, or he'll just see the parole board? Do you know?
All right, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Your name?
Clemmy L. Sanders.
Mr. Sanders, you're here because you're arrested on a warrant for the charge of burglary of an occupied dwelling, bond set in the amount of $5,000, criminal mischief, bond set in the amount of $500. And it also looks like, I guess, apparently there is a parole violation hold, is that right?
Right, yeah.
All right. You'll have that as well. I'll appoint a public defender to represent you on the new charges in that 2022 CF 362AO.
They want to take me back. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I want to do this here, so when I get through this, I can ball out. Okay, that's a bond on that. I'm saying, I can go finish my prison time. Then I can bond. It don't make no sense to pay that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look to see.
Okay.
All right, raise your right hand. Solemnly swear testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your name?
John Dillon Santoro.
All right, Mr. Santoro, you're here today in 2020 CF 7065AO because of a warrant for your failing to appear. Hang on just a second. On the charge of possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia. In front of Judge Wooten, there is no bond on the failure to appear. And you are also currently out on bond on a misdemeanor charge out of Osceola County. I'll just leave that. I'll take no action on that since you're not on bond, on the other case, okay? And in the 2020 case, I think did you already have a public defender in that case or an attorney?
Say again? A public defender?
Oh, you have conflict counsel.
Huh? Yeah, conflict counsel.
Yeah, Blake Cheek. Oh, man, hopefully he doesn't. I'm here at 1 o'clock. The lawyer, in that case, since there's no bond, he's probably gonna want to appear, but, okay. If it happens and we know, we can just settle again for tomorrow.
Your Honor, you didn't appoint us because he has conflict counsel?
He has conflict counsel, so yeah. I did, you just be withdrawing soon anyways, apparently. All right, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Sir,
Your name?
Lester Oliver Starling III.
All right, Mr. Starling, you're here. You were arrested and charged with 3 charges: possession of heroin within 1,000 feet of a convenience store business with intent to sell, possession of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a convenience store or business with intent to sell, and possession of MDMA ecstasy. There's one thing, I think. All right, I did find sufficient probable cause in that the bond is set at $10,000 on count 1, the possession of heroin, and it looks like it should have been $10,000 in count 2. There's a change. Yeah, so I'll set that at $10,000, and in count 3, it's $150.
Your Honor.
Yep.
Stop.
Okay.
I'll appoint a public defender to represent you. And that's 2022 CF 946AO.
Your Honor, can I ask that he not go back to the mobile station, which is located at 3000 West Colonial Drive?
All right, no return to that mobile station if you do bond out.
I'm about to give it to you right now.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond Court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.